Right now at 6, searching for answers and accountability.
We know right now, as we stand here, there are people out there that know who did this.
The reward now on offer some 8 months after someone claimed 3 young lives.
Plus, college-bound students left in limbo as the Portland teacher strike hits a 10th day.
I needed a letter from my 2 teachers and my counselor, which I'm unable to get.
Plus, swirl and sip. The Oregon wines leaving an international impression.
And giving women entrepreneurs a boost. The competition that's helping turn dreams into reality.
They are taking on this new venture and they are going to create these businesses.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with new details on the shooting inside the terminal at PDX with the suspect Laura Patterson appearing before a judge and court documents revealing she allegedly told police she was thinking about killing her family. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm China Green. Patterson will remain in jail without bail until her next hearing. Ashley Grams joins us live from the courthouse. Ashley, what else have we learned about this shooting?
Well, David, China, these court documents say that the suspect, 47-year-old Laura Patterson, told officers that she shot a gun inside of the Portland International Airport because she, quote, wanted to, and because she was thinking about killing her family for at least 2 years. Now, this all happened near a TSA security checkpoint on the way to the D&E gates Tuesday night. It sent people running for safety and forced a closure of the security area for more than 3 hours. Now, in court today, Patterson's defense argued against the charge of attempted murder. He said she shot her gun into the air and no one was close to being hit by the bullets. But Deputy District Attorney Nathan Vasquez claimed Patterson is still a threat. He said the preliminary investigation shows Patterson thought about killing her family.
Ms. Patterson has expressed homicidal ideation towards her family members. What we're talking about with an attempted murder is, did she take substantial steps to that end? And the answer here is clearly yes.
Court documents reveal Patterson admitted to firing the gun, telling a bystander, quote, "Yup, I did it." Patterson told officers she came to the airport with a loaded gun because she wanted to kill her family members who live in Houston, Texas. Now, prosecutors have requested a preventative detention hearing, but until then, Patterson remains behind bars.
Ashley Grams reporting downtown tonight. Thank you, Ashley. Let's get to your headlines this evening. Police have made an arrest in an attempted kidnapping at a Northwest Portland park. Back on the afternoon of October 12th, a father and his 7-year-old daughter were at the playground at Cooch Park. That's when authorities say a woman wearing only a T-shirt walked up and started behaving strangely. Police say she suddenly grabbed the girl and tried to carry her off. 32-year-old Bailey Brigham turned herself in this morning. She is facing kidnapping and indecent exposure charges.
A federal appeals court has blocked an Oregon judge's order to release dozens of criminal defendants who don't have attorneys. Earlier this month, the federal judge Michael McShane ruled that keeping defendants in jail without a lawyer deprived them of their Sixth Amendment right to counsel. He ordered all Oregon counties to release defendants who have no lawyer assigned to them within a week of their first court appearance. That order was to take effect today. Now it's on hold indefinitely.
Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez DeRemer has joined a bipartisan effort to get the FBI to help crack down on street racing. The bill, called the They're Fast, We're Furious Act, would establish a street racing prevention and intervention task force at the Bureau. It would coordinate local, state, and federal responses to street racing and develop best practices to help keep communities safe. In June, Governor Tina Kotek signed into law a bill that stiffens penalties for street racing and so-called takeovers, including fines, jail time, and seizing vehicles.
In Yamhill County, unionized county employees have voted to approve a new contract agreement. The deal was reached last week after a 5-day strike. It includes cost of living adjustments, longevity pay that starts sooner, and improved holiday pay process.
And Starbucks workers across the country, including baristas at 11 stores in the Portland area, walked off the job today. The half-day strike coincides with Red Cup Day, when Starbucks hands out red reusable cups to customers who order holiday drinks. Those on strike say stores are understaffed and they're underpaid. Starbucks workers have been pushing to unionize for the past few years, and some stores have, but there's been no bargaining between the union and the company. Matt?
Thanks, David. Starts out with this. There was a couple of minor earthquakes up near Seattle, north of Seattle, between Stanwood and Oak Harbor near Camano Island. Here you see the yellow dots there. Only about a 3.1 magnitude, so not very big, but I'm sure some folks up that way felt the shaking. We, on the other hand, had a pretty great day in Oregon, at least in the Portland area where the low clouds burned up, but we had high clouds too. Notice how the low clouds moving east to west, the high clouds moving west to east, and that nice layer of clear air in between revealing the slopes of Mount Jefferson looking south from our Skycam and the Mount Hood National Forest at Timberline Lights. Kind of a unique look there, but the sky will clear tomorrow, and with a clear sky tomorrow night, great opportunity to see the Leonid meteor shower. It may not produce that many per hour, but the ones that it does produce tend to have long tails that sometimes have some good color and last for a second or two. So it's a good one to see if you can find a warm location. It will be clear for that. But the headlines look like this. Dry tomorrow and really quite pleasant. Be the warmest day of the next 7. We get a soaker on Saturday with a strong cold front, and the snow levels finally fall below the passes. We'll talk about how much snow will fall and what it looks like if you're going to the Beaver game down in Reser Stadium on Saturday. It's going to be a bit wet, guys.
All right, Matt, thank you. So the earliest tens of thousands of students in Portland could potentially return to class is now the Monday after Thanksgiving. The district just announced no school tomorrow, with students already scheduled to be off all next week. Parent-teacher conferences also scheduled for Monday and Tuesday. Those were also canceled.
I mean, not the news so many families wanted to hear. As the strike stretches on, some older students in particular are growing more and more concerned about their futures. Let's bring in Thomas Schultz live at Lincoln High. Thomas, you've been talking to some seniors who are applying to college. How are they feeling about all this?
Well, David, they're understandably stressed, and some of those seniors we spoke with are still missing college recommendation letters from teachers. They also don't have transcripts for colleges that generally their high school would send out to places they're applying to, and this is all becoming more concerning because they're starting to miss deadlines.
Yeah, it's not fun.
November is generally a stressful month for high school seniors, writing college applications, collecting recommendation letters, and accessing their high school transcripts, then submitting all that paperwork on time. Though this year, Portland Public School students are stressed for another reason. 3 weeks into a teacher strike, they're still waiting for their transcripts and recommendation letters to be sent to colleges.
I have been getting emails from schools asking for these materials that they're expecting.
Many schools' early action deadline passed Wednesday. And while some students rally in support of teachers,
get up, get down.
Seniors worry they may have missed their chance to attend their dream school.
I was hoping to apply to Seattle U's nursing program, and it's very competitive and hard to get into. And I needed a letter from my two teachers and my counselor, and I'm really bummed out that I may not be able to go there because of this.
Portland Public Schools says students should contact their principal and the district, who will ask colleges to be flexible with deadlines. Already, the Pacific Northwest Association for College Admissions has asked schools to work with Portland seniors. Still, as the strike continues, missed school has made deadlines and applications much more challenging.
And normally I would be able to go to my teachers, go to my counselors, whoever, and ask them to send these materials, but I can't.
I mean, you can really feel the frustration and disappointment there. Thomas, of course, getting accepted into college is just the first of many hurdles. What about financial aid or scholarship applications? Any chances of help with that?
Yeah, well, David, that's another problem that these students are dealing with. Right now, they're filling out those scholarship applications on their own, and as many people know, that can be a confusing process. Generally, there'd be a guidance counselor to help walk them through the process, but with schools closed for the past 3 weeks and closed at least another, they're having to do it all on their own. David, China.
Yeah, and so much uncertainty about when this is going to end. The multi-million-dollar question. Thank you, Thomas.
And stay with KGW for the latest on the Portland teacher strike, however long it lasts. You can catch up on past coverage and look for updates on KGW.com and streaming on KGW+.
Well, tonight the FBI is boosting the reward it is offering to try and solve a triple homicide. Back in March, 3 young men, including 2 high school students, were shot and killed in North Portland.
Alma McCarty is in the newsroom with that update. Alma.
Well, David, China, the FBI special agent in charge did not mince words, calling this targeted shooting heinous and the terror brought upon these families and this community unacceptable. Now they're offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction of those responsible. Neighbors on North Foss Avenue near University Park heard dozens of gunshots on March 25th of this year and found shell casings in several yards. This deadly shooting happened in the middle of a Saturday. Officers say 3 suspects chased down the victim's vehicle and shot into the car, killing 17-year-old Iskender Tamra, 19-year-old Babu Daoudi, and 20-year-old Patrick Johnson. Iskender's sister Beza told reporters it was difficult for her family to be near where her brother took his last breath, but that it's important for people to hear her plea and for someone to come forward.
Give my family the peace that we deserve, because this is like an open wound for us. We don't have answers. And we miss Iskender. We love him. He was a great kid. He was a high school student, like he stated. He had 2 jobs. He was very responsible. And we're just all devastated.
Again, the FBI says they believe the 3 victims were targeted. If anyone has information that could aid in the investigation, they are encouraged to contact the FBI or Portland Police. China.
All right, Alma, thank you. In our homeless crisis tonight, we have new numbers that show how well the city of Portland is complying with the settlement over campers blocking sidewalks.
Well, the city agreed last spring to remove them after a group of Portlanders living with disabilities sued. As part of the settlement in the case, the city agreed to remove at least 500 campsites that block sidewalks each year. We're going to do the math here. We found out in 3 months they removed roughly double that number. The report shows from July to September, city crews removed 1,408, each with an average of about 3/10. About 75% of those, give or take, block sidewalks. The city has invested $16 million in their camp removal program.
Yeah, I think they're doing a decent job here. There's a lot more to be done.
I feel that Portlanders should be able to live in a safe environment without having to fight for it every single day.
Well, Blair Best will have much more on this update at 6:30 on The Story, including where enforcement is falling short.